Welcome to the Gay Cruise and Travel Podcast with me, Joey T. I am back from the Thanksgiving cruise, and on an upcoming episode, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my experience with the Virgin Voyages cruise line and on the Virgin ship. It was my very first time, and there were quite a lot of things I liked about it. So hopefully in an upcoming podcast episode, or maybe even a YouTube video in the upcoming new year, I do want to give everybody a little bit of the pros and cons and my take on the Virgin Voyages experience. Because Atlantis, they have sailed quite a few Virgin ships in the last couple years, and upcoming for the next year, at least in 2025, it looks like they're going to sail quite a few more Virgin ships, which brings us to the topic of today's video, which is an update on the Atlantis 2025 cruise calendar. All the cruises that Atlantis will be sailing in 2025, and there are quite a few big updates for this one because there are 3 new cruises, brand new cruises that have not yet gone on public sale that I'm going to give everybody some details about. So in total, there's going to be 8 cruises sailing with Atlantis in 2025 with 4 US cruises, 2 in Europe, 1 in Asia, and 1 in Oceania. So let's get started. Okay, can I tell you something for real? Skincare is not really a sexy topic. No one's waking up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my God, I have to take care of my skin. I know I talk a lot on the podcast. I have a lot of opinions and I have a lot of advice to give. But if you don't listen to me about anything, listen to me about this. You have to take care of yourself, and you also have to take care of your skin. I believe in it so much, and I think it's such a critical thing that I started my own skincare company, Serve Labs, to serve fun and functional skincare for everyone. And you know what? Not to toot my own horn, but people are always telling me, your skin looks so good, and I can't believe how old you are. Do you know why? Because I've been taking care of my skin for many, many years. But I know, for a lot of you, skincare just sounds like another chore. But I want to make it fun. And that's where Serve Labs comes in. Go to servelabs.co, servelabs.co, or follow us at Serve Labs on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and discover how easy and fun it is to treat your skin right with Serve Labs. I'm just going to go chronologically from the start of 2025 all the way to the end. The first 2 cruises are out of the US, and they are Caribbean cruises. The first one, February 3rd to the 10th for 7 nights. So this is the 35th anniversary Caribbean cruise, aka the big one. I also call it the party cruise because this is the partiest, rowdiest cruise on the whole Atlantis calendar. It's already sold out. It's on the Allure of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. Massive ship, holds approximately 5,500 passengers. When it sells out, that's usually around the rough number of people that are on it. Goes down to the Caribbean. This one happens every year. It's been selling for quite a while now, so no new updates for this one. Not a surprise. St. Martin, San Juan, Labadee is part of the 7-night itinerary. I've talked about this one quite a bit if you heard me on previous podcast episodes or in various YouTube videos. But that one kicks off the year going from Miami into the Caribbean. The big one, the party cruise, 7 nights in February. The second cruise out of the Caribbean is the South Caribbean cruise. And this one goes from San Juan. And this one's on the Resilient Lady from Virgin Voyages, February 22nd to March the 1st, also for 7 nights. This one has also been on sale for quite a while now. This one is not sold out. There's still room on this one. You're interested in a Caribbean cruise early on in the year to maybe possibly escape some colder winter weather from your neck of the woods. Tortola, Bridgetown, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. John's, Antigua, Phillipsburg, St. Martin. Quite a few ports there. And it's also for 7 nights. So that one is still on sale. That one is no new updates for that one either. It's been on sale for quite a bit. The information has been out in public for several months now, but that is still an option just in case you're interested. Now, the third cruise of the year, also from the US, is a brand new cruise. So this one is going to be over the US Memorial Day weekend from May 23rd to the 29th. The dates have not been like absolutely confirmed. They're not completely. Atlantis may have those dates locked down. These are the dates I've heard, but I haven't been able to like double confirm them. But it's definitely going to be over Memorial Day weekend. I've heard that it's 6 nights. The dates should be somewhere about May 23rd to the 29th. So this one's going to go out of Miami for Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be on a Virgin ship. Should be on the Valiant Lady. And all the Virgin ships, they've got 3 that are actively selling right now. They've got a brand new 4th one that should be launching in 2025. But the design of all of them are literally almost identical. There might be like a 1% of the ship where there's some details changing in there, but by and large, if you're on any one of the ships, you can't really tell them apart. But this one should be on the Valiant Lady from Virgin Voyages for 6 nights, sailing out of Miami, and then it'll be in the Caribbean. Last I checked, I heard from Rich, the president and founder of Atlantis, when he was sailing with us on the Thanksgiving cruise that I was on a couple weeks ago, and he was giving us some information about this one. The itinerary and the ports are not locked down yet, so he wasn't able to tell us exactly what the ports of calls were going to be for this one. Looks like they're still working out the details of that with the office and with Virgin Voyages. But yeah, that will be a new one. I can't remember in recent history that Atlantis has done a cruise out of over Memorial Day. I think maybe around 2016 or 2017. I think they did do the Anthem of the Seas out of New York, kind of around this kind of sort of like April, May-ish time frame. But that one's a slightly different cruise. I can't remember if that was over Memorial Day weekend. But anyways, for like at least the last several years, they haven't done any sort of cruise out of the U.S. Over Memorial Day. So if you're looking for something a little different to try for Memorial Day, for your Memorial Day vacation, and you're interested in a cruise, yeah, you can sail with Virgin and Atlantis over Memorial Day weekend for 6 nights. Into the Caribbean. So this one, because some of the details of the sailing itself has not been locked down, it's not on sale to anyone. Rich just gave people a little upcoming preview, like a sneak peek, just like an early heads up that this cruise was going to be coming, even though some of the details are not locked down. But this one's not on sale to anyone yet, not even alumni. But it's something you might want to put on your radar. Mark down your calendars if this is something that might interest you, so that when it does go on sale, you have knowledge of it already, and then you can get your bookings in. Obviously, once the details are locked down and this does start going on sale, I will have all of the latest information on that cruise for you, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. All right, we're going to move on to the summertime. The 4th and 5th sailings of the year for Atlantis. These are going to be in Europe. These are the Mediterranean cruises. First up, July 13th to the 22nd for 9 nights. It's the July Barcelona to Lisbon cruise, and it's been on public sale for a little while now. I did a podcast episode all about this particular sailing. It's the 2nd episode of this podcast on November 25th that was released. So go feel free to check that out. But just a quick overview for this one. Virgin Scarlet Lady is the ship. It's going to go to a bunch of ports. Marseille in France, an overnight in Ibiza. It's going to go to Seville in Spain, Casablanca in Morocco. So that one's on sale. Both of these European cruises are selling quite quickly. The July one, not quite as quickly as the August one I'll talk about next, but I do expect that this one probably eventually will get sold out. I think there's a good likelihood that both of these are going to sell out. So if you're interested in either one of the Europe cruises for the summer, I wouldn't delay too long. So the second Europe cruise, August 21st to the 31st, is for 10 nights. This is the August Med cruise. It's nearly sold out. So I think it'll be sold out very imminently, possibly as you might be listening to this or as this comes out, it could be very close to selling out. So this one, I think definitely do not wait if you want to go on this one. Just go ahead and book it. This one is also on a Virgin Voyages cruise ship on the Resilient Lady. It's going to go to a few of the ports is Santorini in Greece, Istanbul in Turkey. There's an overnight for that one. Cairo in Egypt, Mykonos in Greece. So very first episode of this gay cruise and travel podcast, episode 1 on November 18th that it was released. I did a whole podcast episode just about that cruise. If you want more information, go listen to that podcast episode. And moving on now, we're going to get the next updated / new-ish cruise. This is going to be October 25th to November the 1st. And usually around this time, Atlantis will do a West Coast cruise from somewhere in Southern California down to Mexico. So this year, apparently, Atlantis couldn't get a ship on the West Coast. So instead, they're going to do a East Coast sailing for this same time frame out of Miami. So I'm calling it the October Halloween cruise for right now. It's October 25th to November 1st again for 7 nights out of Miami on another Virgin ship. This is going to be on the Brilliant Lady. So this is the 4th upcoming Virgin Voyages cruise ship that should be launching in 2025. So it's going to be brand spanking new when Atlantis gets it. For next October. And the ports for this one are also not completely locked down yet. It's going to be in the Caribbean because, it's sailing out of Miami, so it's pretty much going to be a Caribbean cruise. This one's also not yet on sale. It's going to be an upcoming cruise. We were just given an early heads up and sneak peek at this particular one. And also just to tip us off that it's not going to be on the West Coast this year, the October cruise. It will be on the East Coast and going out of Miami on a Virgin Voyages cruise ship. So I have talked about the previous year's October cruises quite a bit. It's the cruise that I volunteered for Team Atlantis several times. And traditionally, the October cruise out of SoCal has been very, very reliable. It's the number one cruise I would usually recommend to first-timers if they want to dip their toes and kind of go on that first Atlantis cruise and really see what that experience is like. Because the parties are quite good in the sense that you get a really good number of people that go to the parties. The parties go for like a decently long time, but the parties are not so crazy that it's intimidating for someone who might not be like a super duper hardcore partier. It's a very balanced cruise. Let's put it that way, between, the entertainment, the partying, like how hard the parties go, and the ports. I love sailing down to Mexico personally. So, unfortunately, no West Coast cruises this year, unlike previous years. Yeah, but this one's a little bit different. I can't remember in recent history that Atlantis has sailed. It's always been on the West Coast. In recent history, it's always been on the West Coast. So it's going to be a Miami one this time. So we'll see how that goes on a really new ship, another Virgin Voyages cruise ship there. Hey, when was the last time you really took care of your skin? The skin is the largest organ in the whole human body and is doing so much for you. It protects you from germs and cooties. It keeps you warm when you're cold. It keeps you cool when you're hot. It's making vitamin D. It gives you the gift of touch and sensation. And that's just scratching the surface. So you better take care of it. I started my own skincare company, Surf Labs, to serve fun and functional skincare for everyone so that you can serve fun while serving face. Go to surflabs.co, SCRVELABS.co, or follow us at Surf Labs on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter and discover how easy and fun it is to treat your skin right with Surf Labs. Now, we're moving on to the third brand new cruise of 2025. This is the one and only cruise that will be in Asia. This is 12 nights, November 16th to the 28th. It's going to go from Hong Kong and it's going to end in Singapore. Okay, it's going to start in Hong Kong, it's going to end in Singapore, and it's going to go to various parts of Vietnam and Thailand. Okay, so it's going to be on the Celebrity Solstice. So it's a mid-sized ship. It's the same size as the Virgin ships. So maximum capacity is about 2,800 passengers. It's not the absolute newest ship. I haven't been on this exact ship before, but I have sailed on its sister ship, which is a Celebrity Eclipse, in October 2019 when it was on the West Coast, and I did the SoCal to Mexico cruise with Team Atlantis that year in October 2019. So it's actually a pretty decent ship. Not the newest, shiniest ship, but it was quite good. So this one currently is on a preview sale to alumni, like early alumni pre-sale is the current status for this one. And if you have gotten the email, then you have gotten all the information about it. So eventually it will go on to general public sale in the upcoming days and months. It will be up to Atlantis to decide when public sale will start, but it will be coming out to the public pretty soon. This is a longer cruise. They've done Asia cruises before, not every single year, but every so often they do them. It's going to go to Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh, Da Nang. These are all places in Vietnam. It's going to go to Bangkok. Looks like there's an overnight in Bangkok. And yeah, so it's quite a lot of really good ports. If you want to see Asia, Hong Kong and Singapore, obviously, you can go to Hong Kong, a little bit early before the cruise. If you haven't been there, you want to sightsee. I love Singapore personally. So after the cruise, when the ship docks in Singapore, you can obviously stay there and explore Singapore as well. But I like that, there's a good amount of variety, at least the years where there is an Asia cruise, to complement the US and Europe ones that are always on the calendar in some way, shape, or form every single year. Yeah, so I like that they have an Asia option. So there you go. And that is another new one for this year. I mean, I say new maybe with slight quotation marks because they do a very similar Asia cruise, I think last year or the year before. So it's not brand new in concept, but it's not something that happens every single year. So they didn't have this in 2024. So if you missed the last Asia cruise that happened somewhat recently, and you're waiting for another one to come along, 2025 will be the year. So there you go. Again, on early alumni pre-sale right now. Will be coming to general public sale, hopefully not too long in the coming weeks and months. Finally, to round out the calendar, the final cruise, this one is sold out, and this one is the Tahiti cruise from December 28th to January the 6th, 2026. So this is a New Year's cruise to bring you into the 2026 year. 9 nights in Tahiti. This is on the Oceania Riviera. Oceania is more of a luxury premium cruise line compared to Virgin or Royal Caribbean or Norwegian or Celebrity or what have you, which are kind of like the more mainstream options for cruise lines. So this one sold out. So I just gave you an overview of 8 different cruises coming up with Atlantis in 2025. And some of them are upcoming. They're not on sale to anyone yet, not even the most loyal of the alumni. Some of them are sold out. I just want to put a quick plug in here that even for the sold out cruises, there is a way to get on a sold out cruise, especially for the 35th anniversary Caribbean cruise in February, aka the big one, the party cruise I keep talking about. Boys have booked that cruise so long ago. That cruise went on sale like in February of March of this year. So about 10 or 11 months ago. And some of the boys that booked very early on, life happens. They got partnered, they shacked up with someone, they got married, they got a new job, they moved across the country, they moved to a different country. Stuff just happens, right? So there will be people that will try to sell their. I mean, I know some people that have already sold their rooms. They had booked it early on, and something in life happened, and then they decided not to go anymore. I actually went to a brunch with someone today that sold their room on that cruise in February last month in November. So yeah, they just posted on Facebook, and then they just did the deal, and then they got rid of it, and then just sold their room. So there you go. If a cruise is sold out, again, my general recommendation, my short recommendation, my advice there is to go join the Facebook groups for those cruises or for that particular cruise that's sold out that you want to get on, and just look for people posting that they want to sell the room. So that's usually that's one of my go-to ways of looking for rooms on a sold-out cruise. I will do a episode of the podcast talking all about that. If you would like, just comment down below in the YouTube comments for this video. And yeah, just let me know what topics you want me to talk about in upcoming podcast episodes. But that does it for today. I just wanted to give everybody the information as much as we have it right now for all the different cruises, the full 2025 Atlantis cruise calendar. Again, 8 cruises in total. I'm really excited to go on some of these. I'm personally booked on the February party cruise. I'm a bit of a party boy. Some of you may or may not know. And I was on this same cruise in 2023 in February. I was booked for the one this year in 2024, but some things came up and I actually sold my room a couple months before that cruise. But I've decided to go back because I love a good party cruise. If you know what you're expecting going into a party cruise, and it's not going to be particularly the most relaxing one to go on. It's going to be a lot of boys, 5,500 passengers, and it's sold out, so it's full. A massive ship. The parties do go hard and they do go long and they do go till early in the morning. So if you are booked on that cruise, I will see you on that one. But I'm also quite excited to see some of these other cruises, how they're going to turn out. The Memorial Day one, we'll see what the early alumni sales figures are before I give you my prediction on whether it might possibly sell out, and therefore you might want to jump on it if you are really interested in that one. The Europe cruises in the Mediterranean, July and August, they always do well. They will sell out. They're nearly sold out, especially the August one. So again, don't delay for that one. I've been wanting to do an Asia cruise. I feel like I wanted to get the experience of what the Asia cruise is like for myself. So for me personally, it's something I'm thinking about. I'm just, I'm thinking that one over. 12 nights is quite a commitment for the Asia cruise. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for a first-time cruiser if you've never been on a cruise ship before, because 12 nights could be a long time to be on a cruise ship, even for someone who is someone who's been on quite a few cruises. 12 nights is quite a lot. But if you're based in Asia, and therefore it's a lot easier for you to get to Hong Kong to go take that cruise, definitely that's going to be an option for you there. Yeah, so there you go. If you have any questions about any of the cruises or anything you want me to talk about on this podcast, actually, I want to make sure that I'll talk about topics and things that you all want to hear about, because this podcast is for you. Also, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to pop them down in the comments and I'll do my best to address them. But hopefully you found this overview of the 2025 Atlantis cruises super useful, and I will see you again next week for the next episode of the Gay Cruise and Travel Podcast with me, just Joey T. Until next time, bye y'all.